Chapter 2. Into the Schools. The U.S. Supreme Court had ruled in 1954 that segregated schools were unequal and therefore unconstitutional. The Brown v. Board of Education ruling was to provide black youth a fresh start. In reality, putting the law into practice would prove a long, hard struggle. 9 black teenagers in Little Rock, Arkansas, found themselves in the national spotlight in 1957. The teenagers had enrolled at their city's best high school, the all-white Central High. Not long before, Arkansas Governor Orville Forbes had helped usher in the first black students to the state's white colleges. So the Little Rock Nine, as the teenagers came to be known, looked on in disbelief as Forbes changed his political stripes. The teenagers became his chance to prove to voters that he was not, quote, soft on race. With Forbes leading the way, a mob mentality grew among white supremacists in and around Little Rock. By early September, the situation was so tense that the teenagers agreed to a plan to try to safely enter the school together. But Elizabeth Eckford's family did not own a phone, and she was accidentally left out of the arrangement. On the morning of September 4th, Elizabeth prayed with her family to calm her nerves, and then she headed off to school. As Elizabeth stepped off a city bus, she saw an angry crowd surrounding her school, but she focused on the armed soldiers lining the streets, figuring they would help her through the crowd. As Elizabeth neared the school doors, the National Guardsmen blocked her way. Lynch her, someone yelled, while another spat on her. None of the black students attended school that day. They tried again September 23rd, only to be met by another violent mob. Finally, President Dwight D. Eisenhower sent federal help. The Little Rock Nine were taken to school under armed protection September 25th. Paratroopers lined the street in front of the building, and helicopters roared overhead. The angry throng was kept at bay. 8 of the 9 teenagers made it through the school year, with Ernest Green graduating. Melba Patillo Beals later said she was engulfed by a stark, raving, compelling fear that whole year. The black students were taunted, tripped, and pushed downstairs. The next year, Forbes closed Little Rock's public high schools rather than see them integrated. For a year, every high school student had to find another way to go to school. When Central reopened, only 2 of the Little Rock Nine returned. In the meantime, Forbes had been re-elected by a landslide. The civil rights movement seemed to be foundering.